Hi, my name is Chris Hilgert. I'm the Master Gardener Coordinator for the University of Wyoming Extension. Today we're going to talk about growing seeds in the garden. Seeds are a great economical way to grow vegetables at home that you like to eat. A $10 investment in seeds will sure save you a lot of money at the grocery store just by growing those vegetables that you like to eat out in the garden. Our cool season plants like lettuce, spinach, peas, those are great plants to grow from seed, but even some of the warm season crops that have less than a 100-day growing season, like green beans, can be grown from seed as well. The soil temperatures for our cool season plants need to be about 40 degrees before we plant the garden. Our warmer season plants need the soil temperatures to be closer to 60 degrees before we plant those seeds in the ground. Let's take a look at a green bean seed packet and see what it says it needs to grow. Everything you need to know about planting seeds will be found on the back of the seed packet. The depth, the spacing, the days to germination, the soil temperature that this seed needs to grow. This information is all back here. So once we know how to do it, now it's time to do it. So we're going to, in this case, plant these bush bean seeds to a depth of 1 inch. And we're going to space them out at 2 to 4 inch spacings. And if we plant them a little denser, we can always go back and thin them to the proper spacing later. Plants like lettuce and spinach, where we will thin those out in order to give the plants that we're going to harvest room to grow, you can actually eat those thinnings so they're not just going to waste. So now we're ready to plant some seeds. Basically, planting your seeds involves digging a furrow to the proper depth for that particular plant. You can use whatever tool is appropriate. You know, for the deeper seeded plants, maybe a hoe. For carrots and plants that have much smaller, very tiny seeds, those are planted almost right on the surface. Maybe we can even sprinkle those over and then cover those up with just a light layer of soil. So we are ready to plant our bean seeds, and I'm going to start just by making a furrow about 1 inch deep in a straight row. We have our furrow. We're ready to put some seeds into the ground. These seeds, the recommendation is to plant them 1 inch deep and space them 2 to 4 inches. So I'm simply going to place these seeds one at a time, space them out 2 to 4 inches. I'll plant the desired amount of seeds in this row. And then I'll cover them up. To cover the seeds, I'll just take a rake and simply drag it over the top of the soil, covering those seeds with a layer of loose soil. Careful not to go too deep with the rake and pull those seeds up out of the ground. Once we've planted this garden, we have our seeds in the ground, we've covered them up. They're not going to grow unless we give them some water. So whether you're using an automatic sprinkler system, a soaker hose, or just a watering attachment on the end of a hose, we want to give our seedlings plenty of water so that they'll germinate and start to grow. So we want to do that immediately after planting, and we want to do it frequently enough that the soil does not dry out completely in between waterings, and especially important is that we don't allow a crust to form on the soil surface. Two problems. One, the crust makes it very difficult for water to soak through and get down to our seeds, and also it makes it difficult for those seeds to pop up through that hard crust when they do germinate. If those seeds dry out during the time between planting and germination, there's a good chance that those seeds will die, or those seedlings will die, because they're very sensitive to drought stress at that point. As you can see, planting a vegetable garden from seed is pretty easy. Just remember, we want to put the seeds in the ground at the right depth, we want to give them the proper spacing, and we want to put them in the ground when the soil temperature is just right. For our cool season crops, that means the soil temperature is about 40 degrees, and for our warm season crops, we want the soil temperature to be around 60 degrees. Do that, and those seeds will be up and growing as long as we give them plenty of water, and don't let that soil dry out in between waterings till they're up and germinated, and then we'll be able to enjoy the bounty of our garden.